Hello, Soch class. I am Kristen, if you hadn't figured that out by now, and I am your instructor this semester. I just wanted to reach out and do a little video today to kind of talk through some of this week's assignments. I feel like sometimes things can get lost in written communication and tones can be taken the wrong way. So I thought maybe I could clear the air by doing a small video about the expectations that I do have for you. If you noticed, the grading this week may have been a little harsh, and there are a few reasons for that. I'm going to start kind of at the beginning to explain how the courses work with Park University. Each course is written by a course developer, so that's not me. That is someone who is at the top of the sociology department. And that person writes the course, and they're the one who chooses how things will be graded and what things we as instructors are supposed to look for within your assignments. And then they give us what they call a rubric. And the rubric is how you grade something. For a student, a rubric is how you can tell what you need to put into your assignment in order to gain the full points. So for each of the assignments in this course, there is a rubric. So if you're on the home page of our Canvas site, and there's all those links that say, like, here's the syllabus, here's the instructor's office hours, introductions, etc. And at the bottom, it has all of the modules by units. A couple down from the top, there'll be a hyperlink to an area called Assignments and Grading. In that area, there are rubrics for each of the assignments. And a rubric is going to tell you what I'm going to be grading you on and what you need to do with your work. So for example, in the discussion area, it's going to give you a points breakdown, like your main post is worth 25 points if you do the following things. So if I scroll up, and I am going to pull this up on the computer behind me so if I can say it to you. So in the discussion rubric, to get the full 25 points, it says that you must complete at least one main post that's thoughtful and original, that evidences critical reasoning, empirical evidence, and clear application. A quality main post must be written in terms of paragraphs, with a paragraph being more than 2 sentences. If the topic or question has more than one part, you must do a quality main post, a quality paragraph for each part. This is something that was kind of lacking this week. When the rubric says you need empirical evidence, that means you need to say something from the course materials. So either the stuff that you've learned in the online classroom through the modules or through your textbook. You can use an outside source, but that is not necessary or needed. And if you use an outside source, you have to cite it. I'll get into plagiarism and so forth in just a few minutes. But within the main post, you need to answer the question or questions that you have been given by referring to the textbook. So even if the question says, what is your opinion on unemployment? Is that bad choice or bad luck? You may give your opinion, but I would also like for you to say, however, in the textbook, it has been said that it's a social problem because bad luck can be a result of recessions, poverty-stricken areas with low resources and not many jobs available, etc. So, whereas I think you all did a wonderful job of expressing your opinions and you weren't afraid to share, which is really great, and I commend you so much for that, because I was reading and I was really excited to see that so many of you were willing to share your thoughts and to engage with one another about your thoughts. You just didn't get the full points for doing that because you were not showing me that you understood the material from the course and in the textbook. So to get full points next week, you will certainly have to integrate pieces from the course into your discussion threads. I know that doesn't always seem organic, like that's probably not the way we would talk. If we were in a classroom, we most likely wouldn't look at each other and say, well, I don't agree with you because in the textbook it says. That's just not normally how we communicate. But in an online classroom where we don't have that interaction, this is the way that you can show me that you can synthesize the material and understand it. Also, if the question is two-parted, you must answer both questions to get the points. So if the question says, tell me from the book and your life experience what you think about this, make sure you don't leave out both components. Okay, some of you answered the question without giving me a life experience. and some of you answered the question without giving me something from the text. So that would be another instance where you did not get your full points. The same thing goes with responding to others. If you read the rubric, it says your reply to a student's post. I'm going to move it over a little bit. Respond to the postings of your fellow students with information and concepts gathered from the applicable readings that demonstrate having read and understood the material. So once again, if you just chime in and say, I don't really agree with you, I don't think that's a good social policy to put in place, you're not really showing us that you understand the course material. You are just saying your opinion. So I think, again, wonderful that we're having these conversations and that we're sharing with one another, but you really must make sure that you are showing us, especially me, the grader, that you do understand and you have been doing the classwork outside of the discussion. Okay, so that's the discussion thread piece. The other component was the essay assignments. So the essay assignments for this week were also a struggle for some. In the essay assignments, it is very important that you are explaining to me the concepts that you're being asked. So if the question is that you need to identify and explain 4 of the 8 ways that sociologists explain social problems, I don't want for you to just list those 4 things, because that's only identifying them. That isn't explaining them to me. So for example, if the way that sociologists explain social problems is that social problems come from bad people, you can say that as a bullet point, but you need to explain that to me, saying, this is a concept that might be blamed on people who are criminals or people who have malintent, but we know that, criminals might be a result of a place with low cultural capital. So once again, you're really expanding upon that one little bullet point and showing me that you understand the information, using your opinion and the textbook together to explain. The essays really are the part of this class, the assignment that you get that show me your understanding of the material. So you need to make sure that you're doing that. Also, within the essays, you do not have to cite your textbook, but you do need to cite outside resources. This week, however, the large majority of you simply recited what was in the book or recited what you got from your outside sources without properly citing. That is plagiarism, okay? I've read the book. I don't need you to regurgitate the book to me. I want for you to show me that you understand what the book is saying and that you can say it in your own words. Same thing if you get information from another website. If another website is telling you about the feminization of poverty, then that's fine that you use that to help you understand. But I want you to retell me about that concept in your own thoughts and words to show me you understand, not just to show me that you found it somewhere else and can read it from some other place. I will give a little bit of leeway this week. There are a few of you that I need to have conversations with about that. But next week, if you are not rewording things in your own wording, you will fail the assignments because plagiarism is not tolerated at Park University. Also, if you don't know how to cite outside work and you're not exactly sure how to reword things or how to cite references within an essay, please check out the Purdue Online Writing Lab, which is linked as well in the assignment and grading area that you can link to off of the homepage. And when you log into Canvas and you have your dashboard of classes, you also have the Park Writing Lab that you could go to get assistance with that as well. And as always, please reach out and ask me questions. I do have office hours 3 times a week where you can text me or call me, and we can have conversations about what is and isn't allowed. Again, I apologize if you were shocked by your grades this week. I don't love being harsh, but at the same time, I really want you guys to get the idea that you must read the directions, you must answer the questions in full, and you must put all of your effort into your work so that I understand that you're reading the material, synthesizing it in your own brain, and you're able to come back with solid arguments based off of what you're learning. So I hope this has been a little bit helpful. Thanks for tolerating the almost 10 full minutes of my video. I look forward to seeing you in the online classroom. I think this week is going to be great. So let's continue working together. And lastly, make sure that we are saying nice things to each other in discussions, okay? All right, have a great rest of the week, and I'll see you in Canvas.